Previously on Kayfabe Chronicles.
Sweet mother of... Remember that time where the major pay-per-views WWE had were only the big four? Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and of course WrestleMania? It was a much better time. Well, actually, there was that period in 1993, though, where they did bring back the King of the Ring pay-per-view. And that was actually a pretty sweet pay-per-view. A one-night tournament where the winner had to wrestle numerous times in order to get the crown? That's actually not too bad. But you know what? That is a story for another night. Fast forward to 1995, and the birth of what I like to call the mid-month filler pay-per-view, otherwise known as In Your House. This pay-per-view still leaves a sour taste in my mouth, and for all the right reasons. So over the next little while, I'm going to be covering it in the only way that I know how. This is In Your House in a nutshell. The concept was simple. During the months that the big four events were not going on, WWE needed something to keep the fans interested, and of course something for them to still spend their money on. Now you could easily throw a bunch of matches together and claim it as a pay-per-view. WrestleMania! But no, they needed something extra. An insurance policy if you must. They needed a little something different to get more eyes on the event. A giveaway! And I'm not talking about a simple giveaway like a t-shirt out of a cannon kind of thing. I'm talking something big. About the size of a house. That's right. WWE decided to give away a freaking house. Well, that just shows how confident WWE was that this event could actually attract viewers. Hell, I'd watch anything if it meant I was going to get a house out of it. And I mean anything. The card itself didn't leave much room for anything, for you see, this was an experiment style of pay-per-view. Now, instead of the usual 3 hours in your house... You see? Because they're giving away a house! Oh, that crazy marketing department! Like I was saying, In Your House clocked in at only 2 hours. The benefit to this was that it focused on the matches instead of promos and behind-the-scenes stuff. If you break everything down in this event, there was a total of 10 matches. 4 being dark matches that never aired. And don't you worry about that. Dark matches are a very repetitive theme in all the In Your Houses. The build to a lot of these matches were fairly decent. Bret Hart taking on Hakushi to open the night, and then taking on Jerry Lawler later on. Back then, that was huge. It put one of the faces of the company in 2 separate storylines at once, and that was unheard of. The matches started off quite decent and lengthy, but as the night went on, they were pressed for time, and the matches got shorter and shorter. Other notable things were that Aldo Montoya, the Portuguese man of war, made a rare pay-per-view appearance, only to get his ass handed to him like usual, but it was also the debut of the now unmasked Puerto Rican superstar formerly known as Quang, going by the name Savio Vega now. You know, because everyone loves a ninja from Central America. Now, down the road, Savio Vega would lead a group of fellow Hispanic wrestlers that would feud with a bald biker gang led by Crush that would take on Ron Simmons and a group of other ragtag guys that need a paycheck. But actually, in that group also contained a young up-and-coming Rock. This was probably one of the most confusing feuds in WWE history. So overall, the night wasn't a complete loss. It did extend the feud between Bret Hart and Jerry the King Lawler leading up until the King of the Ring. But it was also the first of many, many cluster matches between Sid and Diesel. Ugh. Overall, though, the night wasn't horrible. You know, guy won a house. Wasn't me. Not bitter. You know, Canadians can't enter these contests. But do you think WWE would stop there? Hell no! Not even 2 months later, In Your House 2 would happen once again. Same formula, bunch of dark matches, no build, and this time no house giveaway! In Your House 2 would feature a main event once again with Diesel taking on Sid, only this time it was a lumberjack match. Because everybody needs a paycheck. The Undertaker would at last end his feud with Kama in a casket match. Owen and Yokozuna continued to reign the tag team scene. Shawn Michaels once again entered the IC title picture with a win over Jeff Jarrett. Men on a Mission would get a much-needed win over Razor Ramon and Savio Vega to set up Mabel for his mass main event heel push. No comment on that train wreck of history. But the big shock would be Bret Hart, who wrestled 2 matches in the previous In Your House, is now pushed to a dark match against future Hall of Famer, the legendary Jean-Pierre Lafitte. Overall, the event was nowhere near the first In Your House, and that is not saying a lot. But there's only room to grow, right? Right? Wait, how is it still called In Your House when they're not giving away a house? In Your House 3 would follow the same formula as before, a night full of dark matches and subpar filler. The main event, though, did have an interesting stipulation, where numerous titles were defended in the same match. World Champion Diesel teamed up with IC Champ Shawn Michaels to take on the Tag Team Champions Owen Hart and Yokozuna. Whoever was pinned would lose their respected title. To be honest, that actually does sound pretty badass for its time. However, at the last minute, Owen Hart was replaced in the match due to his wife giving birth for real. And for some weird reason, though, he managed to make his way back from the hospital and sneak his way into the match. Ultimately, he was pinned to lose the titles. However, due to the fact that he was never truly legal in the match, the titles were handed back the very next night on Raw. The rest of the night was pure unadulterated goat. Psycho Sid, who main evented the previous 2 In Your Houses, was now pushed to almost opening the night. And Bret Hart continued his feud against future Hall of Famer, the legendary Jean-Pierre Lafitte. The rest of the event, though, wasn't really that important. The next In Your House, however, does hold a special place in my heart. It was the only pay-per-view that my hometown Winnipeg, Manitoba ever got to hold for the WWE, and I was in attendance. And that's pretty much all I really want to remember about that. In Your House Great White North, because that's not racist at all to us Canadians, took place in Winnipeg in October of 1994. I was 11 at the time. Now, Winnipeg isn't really known for housing large sporting events. We are known for rowdy sports fans, especially if you watch the NHL. We're also known for Slurpees, highest murder per capita in Canada, but also we are the hometown of wrestlers Chris Jericho, Rosemary, Steve Corino, and Kenny Omega. Now, this was our opportunity to pack the house and really show the WWE Universe we meant business. What we got was a half-filled house and a lackluster show. The house was so empty that they moved almost all of us to the hard camera side to make it look good for TV. So hey, I got better seats out of it. I'm not complaining. The night did have some good stuff, though. The debut of Goldust, Shawn Michaels relinquishing his IC title to Dean Douglas due to an injury, only to have Dean Douglas lose the title to Razor Ramon later that night. But with positives comes a lot of negatives. The night had a ton of BS finishes. Maple took on Yokozuna in a, hey, let's waste 5 minutes of your night that ended in a double countout because that's all these guys can physically give during this stage of their careers. Hell, even the main event ended in a DQ where British Bulldog beat Diesel, but due to championship advantage, DQ, Diesel gets to keep the title. Like I said, I was 11 years old. I didn't care about any of that. I was at a freaking pay-per-view. It was the best night of my life. Now, as an adult, I know that my tastes are a little bit different, but what I gotta understand is that the main target audience for wrestling is kids. Kids are going to be the ones that are going to get their parents to buy all the merchandise. They're the ones that are going to be emptying their pockets so that their child is happy, thus filling WWE's pocket. Who the hell cares about the BS finishes and nothing making sense? All I'm there is just to see, woo, bright lights, guys fighting in the ring, squirrel! It's all for the kids. And that is the one thing I really do remember, is that it was one of the best nights I ever got to see. Now with that, though, I'm pretty sure that this wrestling event was never actually released on VHS. At least, I've never seen it anywhere. So please, I'm putting this out to you guys. If anybody knows where I can find a copy of WWF In Your House Great White North, it would mean the world to me. I would love to see it again from an adult perspective. You know, maybe I might even get to see myself on camera. That'd be kind of cool. But please, anyone out there, if you guys know where I can find this or at least get some video footage, it'd be much appreciated. And with that, I'm going to leave this little review at this point here. Don't worry, we still got lots more In Your House to cover because we are only just scratching the surface. Oh boy, it's going to be a long couple weeks, is it? It's going to be a long couple weeks. As always, if you guys like the video, crush that like button. Hit subscribe for more great videos. Follow us on Twitter using the 2 name tags below. And also check out that Facebook page, which I'm also going to be posting in the description. Whew. Until next time, this is JP from Kayfabe Chronicles, and I will see you guys with more In Your House reviews. Seriously, how's it? They're not even giving away the house anymore. I can't do this.